Thank you, Dusty, for your very nice introduction. I was thinking about something to say tonight, but I guess I'll just talk about my first ever gay sex. So, I'm really feeling uncomfortable talking about this. I don't know. I don't like being just the gay guy. I don't like being Captain Faggot who like just gets on stage and reveals faggy things about himself. But I have a lot of faggy stories, and here's one of them. Okay, I got out of the U.S. military in 2004, and I was a virgin until I was 23 years old, and I did not know that I was a gay until I was 24. But I got out of the army and I moved to New Orleans because all my friends were drunkards, and I like to party, and so I moved down to New Orleans to go hang out with my party friends from high school. And I was at a party. I went to a party dressed in my army regalia. I had my army pants on and like an army shirt, and I'm walking around like that's a normal thing to do at a party when there's the Iraq War happening. And I just come back from the Iraq War. I had my desert camo, and I'm walking around at the party, and I meet this girl named Blair who. It was one of my friends. She had a band called Blair Everywhere, and she thought that my army pants and army shirt were really, really cool because she was really drunk, and she was like, oh, so good. And then we started making out, and I'm making out with this girl, and then it was kind of fun, and then I spent the night over at her house, and when we woke up, like. I mean, I didn't realize at the time that it was really bad sex. Like, I didn't realize how shitty I am at sex until, like, we woke up together, and there's that... Do you guys like oldies songs? There's an oldies song about how you make... don't force me to sing, but it's like, you make me so very happy. It's like, her alarm clock came on about, like, you make me so very happy, and she's like, that is not a true song. That is a song for people in another situation. She just like threw she totally got pissed at the alarm clock for that song. And I was like, oh, awesome, and I got a new girlfriend. And I was like, but I seriously was deluded, and I thought that like this girl really liked me. And I leave, and I go home, and I'm just sort of on cloud nine, walking around. Yay! I touched somebody's. And then Blair Everywhere has a show in a couple days at this one venue, and I show up again, and I'm like, oh, she's gonna love it when I show up again wearing my army pants and army shirt again, and she's like I get there, she's uncomfortably no thing. She told me no. And I was like, oh, I'm lonely. And then I got really, really wasted. I got very wasted by myself at a bar where Blair Everywhere didn't want to have anything to do with me. And I just got so fucked up. And I'm walking along afterward home to my house, and I'm in the like financial district in New Orleans or wherever it is that there were no pedestrians around. And there were buildings, and I'm just walking along, and I really had to pee. So I just take a piss on the side of a building, and maybe like 2 to 5 minutes later, somebody came walking up behind me, and I'd been mugged a few times in my life. I've been mugged, and this time I thought it was happening again. I turn around, and there's a black guy who's like, hey, and I was like, oh no. And he's like, hey, I saw you pissing back there. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that was me pissing. And he's like, I like what I saw. And I was like, how could you see from like, where like, he's like, why does it matter? And I'm like, I guess it doesn't really. And so we started. We just kind of started, I was like, I'll try anything once. And then I like started making out with him, And we go into his car, and we're just jerking each other off in the car, and as gay people do, and so we're doing that, and police siren, or not sirens, but there were police lights behind me, and the police had seen two people doing sex in a car, and they stopped, and they on their intercom were like, "Get out of the car!" And this guy that I was doing this to, like, he got out of the car with his boner sticking out, and I was like, "Oh, you fucking moron!" And then but it was really lucky that I pulled myself together, and I came out of the car, and I was wearing, luckily, my army regalia. I was totally wearing my army pants and my shirt, and they're like, "What's going on here?" And I'm like, "We're two gay guys clearly fucking around with each other in a car." And I also got back from Iraq, and I don't think that us doing this is really so far out of line. This is New Orleans, after all. I got back from Iraq. What the fuck have you ever done with your life, Mr. Cop? And so I talked the cop out of, like, arresting us for indecent exposure, and I also got him to thank me for my service, which I don't give a shit about at all. I guess that's fine. All right, see you guys later.
Bob Morrissey, give it up again for him.